Back, faithful viewers of CMTV, faithful viewers of pivotal issues. At this time, I want to say that while we'll be discussing, you get the number on the screen, and so you participate because you are part of this discussion for us to build our beloved nation. Nobody loves this nation more than you do, and nobody loves this nation more than we do. All of us love our country, and so whatever contribution we give here, it is to build our nation and bring peace. At this time, I want to introduce Mr. Njomo Cyril. You're highly welcome to another edition.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Rambo Williams. Today we saw the municipality of Buya, the administration headed by Barrister Mafani, go on streets. They sealed a lot of shops. And well, it make all remember the days of late Ekema Patrick. And we say, well, it's a good fight. This is one of his first gestures that he's really doing onto the town. The whole town is talking about.
Some people commented that immediately after our program that we commented so much about their 100 days. Immediately they started going out.
We want to really believe that the program is followed and we is having reaping effects. But we want to tell the mayor that he shouldn't end there.
Okay.
A lot of people have caught in fear. I have like 3 testimonies that they don't know the way about. Because the guys that went on the field doing these activities were very furious, and there's fear that what if they go and unseal the paper, what will happen? We want to say that the law that covers that jurisdiction actually is very stern, but also the procedure that the mayor has used has not pre-notified those who have been victims of this other situation, and want to beg for once. Mr. Cyril is begging on the Lord Mayor of the municipality to please have clemency on these businessmen. It's just a ritual that they are following, and I think having set an example like this one subsequently, I'm sure they will not misfire.
The Florence Ayafo case we've been talking so much about this time. Some suspects.
Yes, it's a hot cake. It's a hot cake. Going through papers today, more than 5 papers titled that on their headline. You want to believe that most newspapers recently received their government subvention. So anything that has to do with government now is actually firefighting. But what we should really say about the Ayafo case, Florence case, is that perpetrators from wherever should be investigated properly. For now, they are still suspects. But if people could go to that extent of decapitating somebody's body, hang the head, we don't want to wish that the same thing should happen to them or any member of their family. What we really expect that the government should do for these people is to put them in a re-education process that will help them to re-establish their normal states. I don't believe sincerely that prison is the best place to re-educate people, and not here asking the government to free the suspect, but let the judiciary play its role. I know following after the interview of the communication boss at the Ministry of in charge of Defense, who said that when anything is at the terrorism follows the terrorism procedure law, what they do as the military is that they investigate, they bring the suspect to the battle, and he play back. He do a playback
of what he did
before they actually hold him as a suspect. So if this has been established that these 2 gentlemen that are under custody now were actually the perpetrator, I still believe that we are in a country in the rule of law, that the judiciary also should do a sentence. I mean, there should be a court hearing for this individual. Their lawyers should be heard, and before the sanction that will prevail will be according to the code that will be used. I don't know whether it's the criminal procedure code that will be used, or the terrorism law, or the penal code. Whatever code will be used to try these people should be according to the spirit of the law. Now, we cannot economize the fact that all this is happening within the context of the Anglophone crisis. It means that the categorization of this crime now become very subjective. We don't know whether it is a minor offense or it is a major offense, what they call misdemeanors. We don't know where it will fall, because, mind you, all those who have lost their life, the villages that have been raised down, all those who have perished out of this crisis are also victims of the crisis at the same category.
Yeah.
So we cannot focus light only on this isolated case and forget what has transpired throughout the Northwest and which is still ongoing.
Okay.
So we cannot really singly handle this case and say that the government should punish them, or they have killed somebody. No, it's not the only abject killing that we have seen physically in this process. So what I'm trying to say here is that in the clemency that we all wish that the head of state should give to all the victims of the Anglophone crisis, these two gentlemen also will benefit from it. Of course, they will benefit. Now, when I talk like this, I know many in uniform will be angry with me. That how can they have perpetrators who killed their colleague, and I'm here advocating for them? No, even the worst offender has a right, still have a right, and because it's prevailing within a context, the head of state, as a father of the land, to bring peace in that land, needs to give general amnesty.
Okay, I would like us to still come back to the outing of the mayor of Boya, but I would like to ask you a few questions here. Some pundits have it that if you look at the Gabu incident, you know, the perpetrators were not brought on screen. People don't know the perpetrators. The government just said military men were involved. But this one who killed Ayafo, the perpetrators were brought on screen. They were made known. So comparing the two, why should one be brought on screen and the other not?
You know, issues of terrorism, issues of justice.
Okay.
When you look at military issues, military laws, and also they are very complicated.
Okay.
And there are issues in the country because government will always want to protect the image of the country. And that's why you see government always advocating no matter what happened. Because when you look at the Ngabu incident, you understand that government, first of all, say no, it was not the military that killed the people of Ngabu. And later on accepted. And government have to make sure that it keeps a positive image. And in countries where there's justice, they show such persons so that it should not happen. Like you see what happened in the north when the woman with the baby was terminated and the government refused, and later on they saw the suspect, and the video was viral, and we saw the persons. And we think that if we are living in a country of rule of law, such persons have to be brought to book. But you know how our system operates, and we feel that we have been talking here on the separation of power, that if there's proper separation of power in this country, where the judiciary is independent, when the executive is independent, when the legislative is independent, you will see that such persons will be brought to book, because those massacre was issues of inhumanity, and the military people were supposed to be brought to book, and so that next time such cases shouldn't happen again. But you know, military law is not like the same like civilian law.
Yeah, and people say they
yes,
are the intelligence of
yes,
the country.
military law is not like civilian law, and civilians can easily be brought to book rather than the military. And then because the military is there to protect the interests of the country, but if the territory of the country, but if the military doesn't protect that, the government will always want to cover their image, to protect its image from the international world. But we feel that justice is very important. If we have separation of power, issues like the Ngabu incident, I think that it should not end like that, Mr. Moderator. It's not supposed to end like that. If government has gotten the suspects, what we feel is that the government bench, the military bench, the government, the executive bench, because the military falls under the executive, the government now should ensure that the judiciary plays a role, because we need an independent judiciary so that such cases can be sanctioned. Such Ngabu incident needs sanction, and it's only the judiciary, it's not the executive that's supposed to pass sanction on the Ngabu incident.
Okay,
it's the judiciary.
Can you have an idea or
because they also say they have the military court, and I think that the military court handle cases of the military. But looking at the Ngabo incident, what have the military court done since this case? They sent President Paul Biya sent an investigative team to Ngabo. Since then, what have the military court done to say that such cases don't happen? And if you look critically, we know that houses assisted abuse, and people are still running. I cited the case of Mbiame in Kumbo, where you saw young children, you saw people running because when the military came out, they were looking for separatists, and the people around could not identify, they could not see them, and you saw these people running away from these young children and the mothers, and they were running away out of the village. So we want to say here that as a matter of fact, all of us want peace. I need peace, you need peace, we need peace. So as we cannot continue killing, because we are in the situation whereby as we are through negotiation and we are still killing, it still leads to more chaos.
And
we cannot continue as such. Looking at such cases, government will always want to paint white, and we say that justice first will come first, and we cannot go to equity with dirty hands. And if both hands are dirty, we cannot see fair judgment, because we talk of equity, and equity means that we should look at all the parties, and if all our hands are dirty, then people will keep on dying. So if our hands are already dirty, let's bring justice and solve the problem immediately, because we don't know tomorrow. Other cases can come up that will be bad, and that will be worse even than the Ngabo, and we don't want that. So we want immediate. If we have seen that, we have understand that there's a root cause in the Anglophone crisis. The issue here, Mr. Moderator, I'm taking a lot of your time, let me land. The issue here is that government should know that there's a root cause in the Anglophone crisis. And if we know that there's a root cause, we should open dialogue that is genuine, and we should be assertive, and we should compromise, and we solve this problem, because this is the 4th year. And we have seen countries where crises have gone up to a century, and up to a year, up to 10 years. So I think that our country is in pain. And President Paul Biya, as the President of the Republic, you are the only person to solve this problem through justice first.
Yeah, maybe we'll have that on the agenda. We'll talk more on that, but just for 2 seconds. If you look at the killing of Florence Ayafo, do you see a kind of private problems with the killers, or should it be a kind of something that has been engineered politically, or what do you think?
Thank you so much for that investigative question, because when you see the newspapers that have captioned about the 2 suspects, Ngu Roja and Niba Innocent, you doubt the credibility of those papers. I take one, for example, Perspective d'Afrique, Pelican. Those are the 2 French papers that are always coming up most of the times when with yellow news. Yellow news are paid content. So with a lot of reservation, I think that putting these 2 suspects at the limelight forcefully does not really send the message that these 2 suspects were the only people behind the engineering process that led to the demise of late Florence Ayafo. And that is why I invite the viewer to pick this situation with like handpick of sorts. They should be selective in the kind of information, and that's why we are here to screen the information and send to them that the government could be using this news at this particular time to shadow other prime issues, like, for example, the case of Samuel Wazizi is not yet gone. They have tried to bring so many cases to shadow that particular case, which is still on the limelight. Okay? For example, what is the opportunity of showing these 2 gentlemen at this particular time? For showing that there is a video, the video of the assassination that is going on, and they were identified. And now they are still presumed, they are still suspects. Is it really necessary to start showing suspects? What of their human rights? I think this is already a violation of the Criminal Procedure Code. Okay? When you call somebody a suspect, what does it mean? It means that that person is alleged to have committed the crime. And if truly you say that you have evidence, then you should put the suspect on one hand and put the evidence that you are putting together. When I went through the Pelican newspaper trying to read it, all I could see was a sided justice trying to pon news on how they went about without really bringing evidence on who sponsored the act, what was the agenda behind it. Because if we don't start tackling issues from the roots, we will always provide wrong solution to particular issues. So I think following the communique of Major Captain or Navy Captain Aton Fangemo, who is the communication board at the Ministry of Defense, one is caution to have some reservation, but to also use this opportunity to call on the fighters that are still holding arms, that truly I've never advocated for the use of arms. I talk less of killing, especially this kind of murdering that will go up to the extent of cutting somebody's head and publishing and putting it on the limelight as it was the case with the Maquisards period. No, we have not gotten to that point. While killing, you should think of other Cameroonians. But to say that these suspects that are presented today by the media are actually the perpetrator, I have a lot of reservation.
Okay, gentlemen, I would like us to come to the outing of the mayor of Boya, the mayor Mafani Namange